What's up, everybody? So I hope everybody's doing well today. And we got some controversy, y'all. Not really. No, we don't. So let's talk about Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. Alexander Usyk, he just put on a masterful display. He did whatever he wanted. He took his time, dissected, broke down Daniel Dubois round by round. It was really nothing Daniel Dubois did as well as I expected him to do. You know, he landed some solid body shots and he landed some low blows. So now you know exactly how I stand. So if you turn off the video right now because you're in your feelings thinking it wasn't a low blow, you know, that's on you. You know, but however, it was a low blow in the 5th round. But aside from that, he just got beat down, man. Usyk is the man. Usyk is the man. And you notice he kept moving away from Daniel Dubois' right hand. He continuously moved away from Daniel Dubois' right hand. He was constantly making him think how he can get in range for that right hand, how he can get in range even to attack the body, to do what the corner wanted him to do. It's just difficult. You can tell it's just difficult. People can talk about, why don't you press him? Why don't you do this and that? But Usyk is constantly making you think with the foot feints. He's in, he's out. And then when you think he's not going to attack, he leaps in with that jab. And then he'll throw that left hand when you least expect it. Like, he won't throw that left hand for about 1.5 minutes of the round. He'll just play around and kind of paw around with his lead right. And then next thing you know, boom, there it is, out of nowhere. So Usyk is a master. He knows exactly what he's doing in there, and he just makes these fighters think so much. Even though they're bigger, you know, the Joshuas, the Dubois, the heavyweight, and they can't bulldoze him. They just can't come forward and bulldoze him because he's constantly on the move. He's moving away from your power hand. So give this man his props for his victory. A tremendous performance by him. Let's just focus on that rather than some phantom controversy of this low blow. So, but I will address it. I want to talk about that low blow. So I want to read something Russ Abner, in case you don't know, has over 40 years of experience as a cut man. And he also is the CEO, founder of Rival Boxing, all right? And I want to read something he said as a cut man. He says, the belly button is the line for a low blow, plain and simple. Anything below that is a low blow. Whether it's in the bladder, the testicles, on the hips, or the leg, there's no, yeah, but it wasn't that bad. No, it's not okay. Take a shot from Daniel Dubois at 235-pound monster, a 235-pound monster, right in your bladder. There's no muscle there to absorb the blow. So come on, it's laughable that instead of giving Usyk credit for his performance, there's this talk of a rematch based on a claim of a low blow. It's not okay. And not that I didn't just look at other people that agree with what I said. I didn't just focus on that. I was looking at everybody's comments and what they were saying. But it doesn't change the fact of visually what is there. Come on, folks. You can see it's clearly a low blow. I don't know why people are up in arms, and it's pretty straightforward. It's not like other controversies that we've had before. You know, it was clearly a low blow. But I want to say this. Dubois, I think he acquitted himself pretty well under the circumstances. He was still coming forward. People can complain and say he quit. I'm not going to say that the man quit. I don't know what was in his mind at that time, but I was surprised he didn't get up. I thought he was going to get up even after the second knockdown. Even the second knockdown that ended up being the KO, that surprised me. Like, it looked like he got him, he caught him over the top, like he had been doing that entire fight. I don't know if maybe he was thinking about his eye, maybe what was going on with Daniel Dubois, but I really thought he was going to get up from that. And when he stayed down to the count of 9 and then he started to rise, it brought back shades of the Joe Joyce fight for me. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to say he quit, but that was crazy. But aside from that, aside from the low blow, let's take out the low blow. Let's take out Daniel Dubois, people saying, oh, he quit or he didn't quit, whatever. Let's look at the fight itself. Daniel Dubois acquitted himself well. He landed his fair share of shots. He kept coming after Usyk. He made Usyk work for this victory. And then let's give credit to Usyk. Because Usyk, when he was put to work by a lesser, I am going to say a lesser fighter, because Dubois is not at that level of an Usyk. He's not. And I think that showed. He made sure he made Dubois also think. And that thinking, that hesitation, that just gets him going. If you're sitting there trying to figure out what you're going to do next, instead of just doing what you want to do, Usyk is going to take command. You can't outthink him in the ring. And I think that's very clear. It's very clear. You cannot outthink him in the ring. That's one of the reasons I think we all want to see Fury, who's a tremendous boxer and a great thinker himself in the ring, against Usyk. Yeah, it would be not only a technical match, but I want to see if Fury does something like he did with Otto Wallen. If you remember the Otto Wallen fight, and he had that bad cut, and he was fighting on the outside initially, what did Fury do after that? He started trying to maul a smaller Otto Wallen. He started just grappling with him, leaning on him. So I'm curious if he would try to do the same to Usyk. It's just a fascinating fight. We need to see it. Unfortunately, I don't think we will see it because Hrgovic's up next with the IBF. He's already said he's not stepping aside. He deserves his opportunity. He's waited long enough. And I have empathy for that. I definitely have some empathy for that. When you work for something, you're waiting for your opportunity, you don't want to let it go any longer. So let's get Hrgovic, Usyk, and then we can get Fury against, who knows? Who knows? We're going to have Fury and Ngannou on October 28th, and then hopefully we'll get Fury and Usyk. But I don't know, y'all. I'm starting to lose hope if we get the fight. We might not get it because it definitely looks like it's going to be Usyk, Hrgovic next. But if we get Usyk Fury, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And I'm sure all of you would be as well. And it would be a great fight. And as of now, I'm still going with Usyk. I tell you, Usyk has grown on me as a heavyweight. I'm carrying on a lot on this fight, but Usyk has grown on me so much as a heavyweight. You know, I felt one way when he came in and took on a Chaz Witherspoon, and I was like, I don't know if he can hang. But now he's really grown into heavyweight, and he understands how to deal with the heavyweights. He knows his weaknesses. He understands the things that he needs to make sure the heavyweights don't do, and he has the movement to do it, to make sure they don't lean on him. Like very rarely, even when Daniel Dubois got Usyk against the ropes, he was against the ropes for maybe 8 seconds, and then he was out of there. He was out of there. He was like, he got against the ropes, and when Dubois was hesitating, if Dubois, I wanted to see Dubois really attack there, but when Dubois kind of hesitated, Usyk, he got out of there. He was like, okay, I'm escaping. And then we were back to center ring. So either way, I'm going to move on to number 2 here in a second, but I hope you guys enjoyed the fight. I enjoyed the fight. I just love watching a master at work. That's what Usyk is. Let's give him credit for that. And not so much talk about the controversy or fake controversy of a low blow, because it was a low blow. Stop talking crap. All right, I'm moving on. Number 2, Jared Anderson battles Rudenko. Rudenko has been in there with some tough fighters. He's been in there with Big Bang Zhang and others. Been in there with Povetkin. None of them stopped him. And of course, 39 years old now, wear and tear on the body. We know all that, but Jared Anderson got the stoppage. And he made it look easy. Honestly, he made it look easy. His defense was solid. He had a very good and consistent attack, attacking him to the head, doing some great body work. Rudenko was outclassed from the beginning to the end. Jared Anderson was never in trouble in this fight. So I like how he bounced back. You know, there's a lot of talk after that Charles Martin fight. You know, slow him down, slow him down. I said it on my video after that fight too, if you watch that recap. I was like, look, let's just slow down on the Jared Anderson hype train. I still feel that way now, but I think it was good on Top Rank, getting him in there with an opponent where he can show off his skills, show off his talents, and he can start to build back up, and they don't have to rush him. You don't need to rush this man. I know he wants a paycheck. I know he said that he wants to be out the game soon. Well, you got to get him the right fights, and I think this was a right fight, keeping him active, and he's talking about being back out in November. So if he's coming back out in November, I wonder who he's going to face then. Is it going to be a step up in competition? Is it going to be around the same level as a Rudenko? But we'll see. I was thinking that we're going to match him up with the Ajagba Kossobutskiy winner, but after that fiasco, which I'm going to touch on here next, I don't know. But we might get Jared Anderson and Ajagba next, and I'm here for that fight because I still think that's a good fight for where Jared Anderson is right now. It's not like anybody is saying Ajagba should be challenging for a world title. Nobody's talking that. Nobody's talking that noise. So Anderson, Ajagba, if that's in November, I think it's a perfect matchup. Hopefully we see it. But props to Jared Anderson. He went out there, put in work, shut up all the noise for now, and then we'll see what he's going to do next. Number 3, so on the Jared Anderson card, you had Efe Ajagba against Kossobutskiy, and Kossobutskiy, he just wanted out the fight. He wanted out the fight quickly. He was throwing low blows on Efe Ajagba. It's like once he realized he wasn't going to hurt Ajagba, he wasn't going to be able to get him out of there, he was like, you know what, I don't want to be here no more. I don't want to be here no more, you know? And he almost had, I don't know if you guys watch it, it felt like even after some of those shots, after some of those low blows, he had like a smirk on his face, you know? And that, I didn't like that at all either. I was like, come on, man. I mean, this is completely unprofessional. And I know this is we're talking about a brutal sport. You got guys hitting each other in the head, punching each other, but they also show respect. It's still a sport. They show respect after the fight. most times. They show respect after the fight. And Kossobutskiy, he looked like he just didn't give a damn. He looked like he just didn't give a damn. So I said it on X after the fight. I was like, look, if this man never gets another opportunity, I'm not mad at it. Because you cannot be performing unprofessionally, can I talk today? Unprofessionally like that and be getting other opportunities for paychecks. You don't show up to work on time multiple times, what happens? You get fired. You got to find another job. And if you're blatantly throwing low blows to hurt and injure your opponent, why should you be offered another opportunity to work? Because that's not how you perform in the ring. That's not how you should be performing in the ring. We know people try to get advantages. Maybe they'll fight a little dirty. Maybe they'll hit somebody on the hip. Maybe they will like hit them a little low, something like that. Once, maybe twice, they don't get their warning, and then they'll fight how they should be fighting, within the rules. Try to get that advantage. But that was not it. That's not what Kossobutskiy was doing. He rightfully DQ'd him. And like I mentioned about Jared Anderson, maybe we get Ajagba Jared Anderson next. But congrats, Ajagba. Heal up, brother. Heal up, brother. I mean, I'm sure he's probably doing well now, but gosh dang, man. To just take that consistently. These are heavyweights punching. Heavyweights. Getting it in the onions like that. No bueno. No bueno. So, Ajagba, respect to you, not losing your crap in there. Maintaining your composure. Being a professional, even though you did do a low blow as well. But I can understand the retaliation at that point. But he maintained his professionalism for the most part. Credit to him. Hopefully we get Ajagba Anderson next. Number 4, so Oscar Collazo, the minimum weight champion. He came out, did his thing. He was applying pressure to Diagan. I'm not saying his name right. I always say that. Garen Diagan. I thought Diagan actually had some good moments in that fight, but Collazo was obviously the better fighter. He was the more decorated amateur as well. And I thought Collazo, before I go into hyperbole, I had to stop myself, y'all. I had to stop myself. I'm not going to leave that out because when I was talking, I was thinking, you know what? Collazo has some defensive holes. You see a lot of defensive holes in Collazo, but I also think he was in Puerto Rico. So being in Puerto Rico, showing out for his people, he was applying the pressure. He was putting it on Diagan, but he also was putting himself, because of the pressure, in a lot of harm's way. And I saw some uppercuts, and there were other openings that you could see Diagan was trying to take advantage of, but he just couldn't. And Collazo was able to just break him down, get him out of there. So credit to Collazo. We'll see if he goes on and try to unify next. But I think he's up there. He's an exciting fighter to watch. I like watching Collazo, and I hope to see more of him, and soon, and soon, because this is his second fight of 2023, if I'm not mistaken, because he won the world title earlier this year. So let's see what he does next. Respect to him, props to him. On to the next. Number 4, Vladimir Hernandez outworks Lorenzo Truck Simpson in the OTX series finale. So Vladimir Hernandez, volume puncher, 18 by 18 foot ring, and he was just letting Simpson have it. And I'm not saying he was hurting Simpson. He obviously isn't as big of a puncher as Truck Simpson, but it was the volume. He just outworked him. Simpson was not doing enough in there to warrant winning rounds. He did hit him with some good shots, some good clean shots as well, but it just wasn't enough. You got to do more than 1 or 2 clean shots when a guy is coming right back. Even when you're blocking and taking him on the gloves, he's still applying that pressure. Those body shots were landing, even if they weren't hurting Truck Simpson, they were landing. And he did hurt Truck Simpson with a shot to the dome. I can't remember the round, but he did hurt him. It backed him up, it buckled his knees, and he fell back. He went back into the ropes, and then Hernandez continued his attack. But overall, it was a very good performance by Hernandez. He took advantage of what he had, which was that 18 by 18 foot ring. And then you had Lorenzo Simpson, who moved around the first round, but then he stood and traded. And when I say traded, he really stood and took a lot of punishment versus trying to counter. He didn't counter as much as I believe he could with the openings he had, but Hernandez was just swarming him. So I can understand why he was kind of trying to wait for that perfect opening. But that perfect opening really never came. And when he did find an opening and he landed it, it wasn't enough for Hernandez to go back and rethink things. He still came forward and continued attacking. So credit to him, credit to Hernandez. Truck Simpson will bounce back. I think he will be better from this. He'll learn whenever he's in there with an opponent like that how to deal with it. And who knows, he might not be in another 18 by 18 foot ring, or he'll have his conditioning to a level where he can do that movement like he was doing in the first round for the entire fight. So adjustments will be made, but credit Hernandez in this one. And I did do a video on OTX. I think that OTX series was great. And if you're curious about that, I'm gonna leave a link to that. It's not coming out till Tuesday. So if you happen to see this after Tuesday, you'll probably see the link then. But I am going to put the link in the description so you can check that video out. OTX, I love it. I love what they're doing. And you can see my thoughts on that. If you check the link in the description or you look and you actually see, I think it'll be there. Yeah, it'll be up there. By the way, I'll catch y'all on the next one. This was a crazy one. There's a lot to discuss. So yes, it's not under 5 minutes. I keep calling it my top 5 under 5. It really is meaningless right now. I just keep talking because if there's something to talk about, we got to talk about it. But I'm curious, whatever your thoughts are, let me know. If you think it's a low blow, that's cool. We can talk about that. You want to call me a casual? I don't care. You can call me a casual. You can call me whatever you want. But that doesn't change the fact that it wasn't a low blow. So until next time,